Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday morning makes. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jill with Jill Norwood Designs. I have a blog called Greenwood Girl Cards, and many of you know me from Greenwood Girl Cards over on Instagram. And I am here as the host of Saturday Morning Makes. All of you that join in Saturday Morning Makes, I call my co-hosts. So I want to welcome everybody in today. If you're not familiar with Saturday Morning Makes, it's an open art collaboration where you can share any type of art that you're creating. Anything to do with crafting or creating, stuff that's related to creating. But the idea is that you share an actual project of something that you made or are in the process of making, and share it with everybody in the community with the hashtag SatMornMakes. And I had started this for a couple of reasons. One, it was started during 2020, during COVID, when a lot of us were sort of stuck at home, obviously, because of the quarantines and the pandemic. And people were looking for outlets, things that they could do from home. And I thought, why not create art? At that time, YouTube was full of a lot of hauls and stuff like that, but not a lot of art. And I would go and look for things to inspire me. And a lot of times I couldn't find anybody creating anything. And I thought we need to get back to the creating and also to taking time to create. As a busy mom, I often didn't make time for myself. So I wanted to allow myself an hour or 2 or 3 hours on a Saturday morning to create and share it. And so that is where the idea for Saturday Morning Makes came from some comments from people that were stuck in their homes, that left comments on my channel saying, I'm stuck at home. I'm so glad when you share things. It helps me pass the time. And I thought we could do this regularly and it would help everybody. So for all of you that have been joining me since 2020, for all of you that are new and just starting out, I want to welcome you to Saturday Morning Makes. I'm so glad you're here to share art. So today is episode 2 of 2023. This is the hashtag that you're going to use if you're joining me for the first time. Make sure you let me know it's your first time uploading. Leave me a comment and I'll be sure and come and see your channel. And I'll try and share your channel in our community tab on my channel so that people can know that you're a new person joining in Saturday Morning Makes. I want to welcome Tammy Hallwood. She was new last weekend, and she is an incredible artist. I hope that you'll go check out her project. She shared some beautiful Diana Markham projects, if I'm remembering correctly. So Tammy, welcome in. Welcome to everybody. So glad you're here with me today. I like to call today the My Creative Time After Release Party. Yesterday was the 129th edition release at My Creative Time. Hello, Emma. Hello to all my design team friends and to everybody who loves My Creative Time products and likes to make projects with them. I like to call this the after party because I get sent the release to play with. God bless Emma for sharing it with me. And I like to take what she sends and play with it and then share my projects on an episode of Saturday Morning Makes. And normally it's the day after the release. The release is always on a Friday. It was yesterday, Friday the 13th. Go to Emma's channel. It's at Aguilar Place here on YouTube. You can type My Creative Time into the search bar window and it will take you to her channel. You'll see her channel there. And you'll go and if you take a look, you'll see her 129th edition released video, and she will explain the entire release to you in that video. But I'm going to go ahead and just give you a brief overview of the products. But again, all the information that you need is on her channel, and I like to refer you there because I'm just giving you a cursory glimpse of what's of the products, and she explains everything about them in more detail on her channel. So this is the paper pad, and the paper pad is called Fun Valentines, and it obviously is full of different things that you can cut out as Valentines. You can see some little tags. This beautiful gingerbread with the love banner is new this month, or this release. And I love this paper with the tiny pink hearts. You can see the faded pink hearts in the background with the text. It's so pretty. And I love all of the heart background papers that she did in the different colors. There's a coordinating stamp and die set related to this, as well as some cookie sheets that these go on. And I'll be sharing a project with that in a little bit. And then we have these beautiful tags again. And you can see the little crossword puzzles and word searches. I love this color paper right here, this kind of creamy color. But anyway, it just repeats over and over again, so you get lots and lots of cut-aparts and these beautiful heart papers, which I just love. And then the second paper pad she released is this Script Hearts and Solid. This gives you the solid papers that you need to coordinate with the various pattern papers, which is wonderful. I, believe it or not, I think I have 5 sheets of this paper pad left. And I basically used everything that she sent. And I had her send me an extra paper pad because I made so many projects that I only have like 4 sheets left, and I wouldn't have had enough left to actually show you the paper pad. So I'm going to just really quick open this up because I forgot to open it, and I'll just give you a quick flip through. So I love the scripts in here and these adorable little heart paper, you know, with the little heart scroll on it. But I just love the colors that she chose, the gray, the light gray, the darker reds, the browns, and these lighter pinks, and almost like a raspberry pink too. So just gorgeous, gorgeous colors and papers, and such a versatile paper pad for all sorts of things. And I do have the dies to show you too. So let me set this aside really quick here. I've got some stuff on my table. So here's the cookie sheet tag dies. It's a set of 3 cookie sheets, and I absolutely love this die set. I can't wait to show you my projects with that one. This is one that I sort of asked her for. I mentioned that there was a large bowl, a Sizzix Red Bigs die that cuts out a bowl, and a lot of people had been searching for it. I know I did tags with it maybe 3 years ago now. It's a wonderful bowl die, and I've done a lot of baking themed tags with it, with gingerbreads inside, and Diana Markham recipe tags. I think back in 2020 is when I did it, or 2019 or 2018. I can't remember what year it was now, but you would be able to find it on my channel if you went back and looked. But that red Sizzix die, a lot of people had been searching for it and wanting it, and you just can't get it anymore unless somebody sells it. So I mentioned that to Emma and said, you know, there's a lot of smaller bowl dies on the market, but we need a bigger bowl die. So she actually did a set of 3 dies that stack, and they also have the little scalloped edges to them, and one is a heart scallop and the other one is a simple scallop, and then you layer them together and you get a 2-tone effect on your bowl, which is really sweet. And then there's 2 little implements in here that are little heart spatulas also. There's a bigger one and a smaller one. And I'm sorry, my dies keep slipping on my magnet. They're not staying put, so I'm sorry they're not arranged better. But I love this set, and I had so much fun playing with it. Then you have the cookie cutter dies, and again, this coordinates with that paper pad, and these are made to fit on the 3 cookie sheet dies. And you can see some of the cut aparts in here from the paper pad that I cut out and haven't used yet. Then we have the Cute Heart frame dies and the Cute Heart layer dies. One has stitching and one does not, and these are made to layer together. And then there's also some little heart dies as well as this tiny heart right here. And I use these so much, you're not going to believe how much I use them. Here's a little tag that I created using those dies. It says Happy Valentine's Day, and I just made this really simple tag, and I put some diamond stickles in the scroll hearts for that paper, and then I backed it with the solid red paper. And this is just a really, really simple tag just to show you how fun those papers are. And I love how the diamond stickles really picks up the light, you know, when you tilt this. So there's that. Here you can see what the cut aparts, the cutouts in the paper pad look like when you use the previously released dies to cut them out. And let me see if I can put my hand on the die sets. Here they are. So you're going to use this die set to cut out the tag. You don't need this piece, but this die set will cut out all 3 tags at once. And then you then can cut out the matching scalloped piece to match. And when you're done, for example, you would end up with this little tag. And it's so sweet. And then if you want, you can take the puzzles that are also in there and put the puzzle on the back. And Emma and a lot of the designers did a wonderful job of showcasing these. So I just made the one piece. I was hoping to do more today, but unfortunately, I still have sick family members, and my time was not where I thought it would be today, so I didn't get to do as much as I wanted with those. Then The other thing that was released is the Love You Most stamps and dies, and this is the sweet little stamp that coordinates with this paper. So you can see the image there. This is the stamp set so that you can stamp it out, cut, and color it, and that is what I did with the card that I'm going to share. And then the other thing she did is that a while back, when she made the 2 small gingerbread dies, I had asked her if she could make a bigger focal point ginger, and she did that. And then everybody was also asking if she could make the ginger that goes the other direction. So you now have the ginger dies in the small size that go both directions, and you have them in the big size going both directions. So it's nice to have all the different sizes, the 2 smaller ones, and now having this set adds the 2, the bigger ones in. So you've got 2 big and 2 small, if that makes sense. And I'm sort of rambling, I'm sorry. So that is all of the new stuff, and I'm going to dive right into projects now. So let me set the new stuff aside, if I can here. Oh my goodness, I have so much stuff on my desk. And this was just a little sample of when we had the chefs, on a previous release, we did the chefs, and I thought how cute they would look with the bowls and just the whole theme of the cookie sheet pans too. So there's so many things that you can do with this entire release, and I just couldn't stop creating. So I'm going to dive right into the projects. I have so much to share. I'm going to try and go pretty fast because I'm already 11 minutes in. Here's my first project. I did a short when I was actually creating the cupcakes for this card. This is that tiny little heart die in the new frame layer dies, the new heart frames. And I just used that tiny simple heart to put on the top of each one of these cupcakes. And this cupcake is from the ice cream die. It can be either an ice cream or a cupcake. And I layered them all up. The papers that I used for this, these are all Irala Mija shop papers here. This was a scrap from my stash. And then this is that beautiful script paper from My Creative Time. From the new release. And that heart die that I used, I'll show you. The one in the background here with the hearts cut out of it is the more scalloped heart dies. And so that's the big heart die that I used in the background of this card. And I love how that kind of sets off the cupcakes for Valentine's Day. And I used the Jingle All the Way spatula and stamped Have a Sweet Day. I added this beautiful glitter that you see on here is diamond. Here, let me get it out really quick so you can see it. It's this Diamond Dust Twinklets glitter, and it's so, so pretty. It just really, really catches the light, and I really like how that looks on here. So that's what I used to decorate the cupcakes, and then the top of the frosting on the spatula. And underneath there, I just used some white paint. So it's, I die cut the piece of paper, put some white paint on, and then I dipped it in the glitter. And that's how I get that kind of crusted frosty look there. Okay, and then inside I added the heart again, another strip of the paper. These are Emma's rectangle stitch dies. And then on the back, I have this little die here, and that is this die right here, and it is called the Heart to Heart Love Frame Dies. Okay, so that is what is on the back here, and I did use this quite a bit on the cards that I'm going to share with you tonight. So that is my first card right there, and I love how cute the spatula looks popping out from the back of the cupcakes. So, so cute. So that's that. And then let's move on to the next one. This is using the beautiful new stamp set and die, and I colored this up. I stamped it out, hand cut it out, and I colored it with Copic markers. I added a face to this from my PK 3000 Jill's Favorites assortment from Peachy Keen Stamps. And the one that I used, the ones that are the right size for the ginger are these two here and these two here. And these will fit perfectly on this particular size ginger. And so I chose to use this one. And I think, was it MJ Carroll, I think, did a project where she used this one. It's absolutely adorable. I loved it. I saw that today, I think it was, or yesterday. I'm not sure. I think it might have been today. Anyway, I wanted to say that I did also use some embossing folders on this card. And I get asked a lot of questions about embossing folders. I think it's one of the most underutilized tools in our craft rooms. Embossing adds texture to your card, and anything that adds texture draws the eye, and that's very important in card making because it just makes the card feel more complete to me when you add the texture. So you can see where I added these little embossed hearts to the background using this Sunny Studio embossing folder called Quilted Hearts. This is still available on the market right now. So you can go to Sunny Studio Stamps or scrapbook.com or even Simon Says Stamp and you can find it. And the other one that I used is this Cuttlebug embossing folder, and this one embosses what I call primitive hearts, which are a long style heart instead of a rounded heart. And that's my favorite heart, is a prim style heart. I'm hoping that Emma will make some for the mini slimline size cards. I would love an elongated heart added into my Creative Times die sets. So, but I use this particular Cuttlebug embossing folder is what I used on this piece of vellum. And one of the ways, you know, vellum can be hard to attach to your cards. And what's nice about adding embossing to vellum is that you can then put glue in the little pieces of embossing. So each one of these hearts where there's glitter is how I glued this onto the card. I put a little bit of glue into the hearts that I'm going to put the glitter on, and then I glue it down, and once it's secured and stable, then I take my diamond stickles and I put that into the areas where the glue shows through. And so when you're done, you have this beautiful sparkly vellum piece that's on your card, and it just adds so much detail. I absolutely love it. So this card just turned out so cute. This Happy Valentine's Day is from last year's Valentine's Day stamp set, and I just hand cut a banner because I felt that this kind of needed something going over the top of the field, if you will. And then when I cut this bottom piece out, I wanted the ginger to be standing on something, and I cut an ellipse out of an oval so that it sort of goes up on the sides. I just thought that was a neat design feature. What do you guys think? Do you like that, or is it too much? Anyway, I thought this card turned out really cute and it's kind of fun, and I wanted to add some aqua in, so I used a gingham paper, and then these are the red papers from Emma's paper pad, as well as this script is from her paper pad. Inside, I carried over that little heart again from the new heart dies, and I added a little strip of the gingham, and then this Be My Valentine is one of the sentiments that you can cut out from the stamp set. And I just added a little bit of stickles to the hearts in there. And then on the back, I used the XO border dies. I used that XO that comes in the XO border dies. I used her little frame die here, the fancy frame dies, and then I added another strip of the paper. I used her beautiful red heart paper from the paper pad, and on some of the hearts, I did add a little bit of stickles so that it glimmers. So that's my second card. Oh my goodness, we're already 17 minutes in. I better hurry. So let's see. Next, let's jump into the ones using the beautiful the cookie sheet dies. And this is a card that I made for Tell Him Thank You, Tina, her Crafty Dares challenge over on Instagram. And the challenge this time was to not use pink or red, but to use a heart and a stamped image. So my stamped image is this little cookie jar from Lily of the Valley Stamps. I stamped that out, hand cut it, and colored in the cookies, and then I tied it on with a piece of twine, and that twine is from, oh my goodness, Fun Stamper's Journey. It's almost gone. This is all I have left. I've used almost the whole spool, and I wish I had ordered more of it. And then I used the Home Baked Sweetness as my sentiment from that stamp and die set. This little heart is from a different heart set. It's from an envelope set. Let's see if I can grab it for you guys. It's this heart right here, and it is from the Love Letter die, and that's MCT D254. So that's the heart that I used right there. And I cut it out of music paper, and I cut it out where the word love was. And then the cookies are made with the snowball layer dies. Do you guys remember those from a previous release with the snowman paper pads? And these are wonderful dies to have. They're uneven circles. They're called the snowball frame dies and the snowball stitched frame die layers. And so I used the smallest one in each of those to create some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. And I layered the pieces together so they actually look like dimensional cookies. And then I didn't have any brown stickles, so I had to use champagne colored stickles to create my chocolate chips. So that's the color that I used. It's champagne. But I saw that Emma made her chocolate chips from the little hearts in the new heart dies that were out. So that is an even better idea. And I think I put them away already. But there's some little tiny hearts inside the stitched one. And so she used these to make her chocolate chips again. And so that would be a great way to do this. You could just put 3 little hearts for chips on the cookies. But I love how this turned out. I think it's so sweet. Inside it says Happy Valentine's Day. This is from one of Emma's mini tag stamp sets. And on the back, I added that heart again, and this is cut out of one of her papers from the paper pad. So just a really simple card, but it is made with the trays, with the cookie trays, and I just scored and glued the back tray to the front tray so that it would open like this, okay? So that's how I did it, and then on the inside, I used the next size down inside layer to do the inside of the card, okay? So that's that one, and I have a bunch of cookie tray cards to share with you, so I'm gonna try and speed up a little. This one says, all you need is love and cookies. It uses beautiful paper from Sam Poole. Hello, Sam. Sam is from the UK. She's a designer for creative expressions. She designed a beautiful set of Christmas stamps this year that I've seen everybody using. I have the stamps. I still haven't had time to use them just because of all my design work. But she just is a wonderful designer, and if you haven't been to her Etsy shop, she has beautiful digital papers, and this is one of her papers that I've owned for a while, and I wanted to make a card that was more of a peachy color instead of pink, and so I did use peach inside of the sentiment here, and then I created with those heart layers, I created 3 little cookies, and on the cookies, on this cookie here, I used this Bow Bunny glitter paste. And this is rose gold. Okay, so that's the color. This was a purchase from what is the name of the store? Tuesday Morning. All of our Tuesday mornings close, and I miss Tuesday Morning because I used to buy paper there all the time and other little goodies. And I wish they would reopen one near me, but they closed them all during COVID, which is just a shame. So I did use that, and then the white ones, I used this Nouveau Crystal Drops Grande, and this is the color Simply White, okay? So this is called Simply White, and so I used that, and then the glitter that is sprinkled on top of that, again, is that diamond dust that I showed you a few minutes ago. And then after I got everything glued down, I did go out and spray this with glitter dust. So the overall glitter effect that's on the background is the glitter dust, but the glitters inside are what I told you. They're this with that diamond dust on top. And then there's 3 little flowers, which are flowers that I've had in my stash for years, but they still sell these at Hobby Lobby. And so I did use some of these white ones on this particular card just to kind of create a triangle onto my card, and it sort of mirrors the 3 hearts also. And then this is the little spatula from the cookie or from the bowl die set, and I paper pieced it with a piece of Iralami Haas Shop paper, and then I added some of that same white Nouveau Crystal Drop onto the edge of this to look like frosting, okay? So that is how I frosted my cookies, supposedly. And then inside I made a heart out of some book paper here and here. I added another strip of the paper from Sam Poole from her Etsy shop. And then this is that beautiful light gray script paper from Emma's Paper Pad cut out of the EXO border dies. And I love how that turned out. And then I added the little love on the back again. And this is again Sam's beautiful papers. And you can see the sewing that she has done on these papers. And these are digital papers that she created, and I just love them. So I thought it would be so fun to make kind of a rustic looking cookie card. So there's that card. And just so you know, the embossing that is on this card in the side right here I don't know if you can see it, but it's rows of little hearts. That is this embossing folder here. And unfortunately, this is probably over 20 years old and I have no idea where I got it. It does not have a name on it and I could not find the packaging. So a lot of my stuff, it's old, but I still like to use it because I just love the effect of embossing, the texture that it adds to your cards. So there's that one. And then I kept going with those wonderful cookie sheets. I was having so much fun. And I did this one with this embossing folder. And this one also doesn't have a name on it, but it's these rows of hearts and then like a ribbon in between. So it's just rows like this. So I embossed a little piece of vellum and I added that onto an Arala Mija Shop floral paper. And then I put a piece of ribbon. I have a basket of ribbons here. This is a beautiful basket that my friend Elise gave to me. And inside I have all of these ribbons that are on different clothespins. So I use this one here on this card. And these are some ones that my friend Muriel had her packages wrapped at Christmas. I've got a bunch of other things in here right now. I need to organize that again. But that is what created the background here. And then this is Emma's scalloped layers, her rectangle scallops. And then I made the cookies again with those heart layer dies, the new ones that just came out. And in the background, you have that beautiful cookie sheet. And on this one, I used a rose vellum in that same embossing folder with the little prim hearts. And I just added that on and I glued it down, and then I added the diamond stickles to each of the hearts. So this is so sparkly, which I think is so important for a Valentine's card. It says home baked sweetness, and then I used 3 of those flowers just to kind of create a visual triangle again. And the rule of 3, you can see 3s on my card. 3 is very pleasing to the eye, and it's a design element that you can use. So that just turned out beautiful. Inside it says, "You are special to me." I used one of my favorite papers from the paper pad to cut a heart and to add a strip. And then I added another little strip of the Arala Mija Shop floral paper. And then on the back, it looks like this, that beautiful paper with the tiny pink hearts in the background, or the faded pink hearts. And then the XOXO border die includes this. So I used one of the smaller XO border dies. I added the XOXO, and then I just put my initials and the year 23. So that is that one. So you have all these different ones that have cookies on them. And then I had to make a shaker. So this one has a shaker, and this one just turned out so fun. It's got diamond glitter dust in there. You know, you can kind of see it. And I did 3 little implements of different spatulas. This one has frosting on it with glitter. I used the flowers to kind of create a triangle again. And I added a little bow. And here's a little tip. If you don't have twine that matches your lace, just take your Copic marker and color your twine before you add it. So I did color this with the Copic marker so that it would match this piece of lace that I added to the card. You can see that I did emboss again with that little heart embossing folder, divided my paper into 3. You have the beautiful portrait papers from Arala Mija Shop in the background here. And the XOXO border die is what cut that out. And then when you open, this is a piece of Arala Mija Shop paper underneath here too. And then the sentiment is from the paper, from the stamp set, and with the coordinating dies, all you need is love and cookies. And when you open it up, I added a strip of the embossing here, and I added some glitter to it. I put 2 more hearts on the inside, and then the back is the beautiful script paper from that paper pad. I love this paper. I would like an entire pad of just this script. I think it's so beautiful. And then I added the little love heart on the back again. So there's that one, and I love that I did a shaker. It's so fun to play with this card because the glitter just goes up and down around those cute little cookies. And again, those cookies are the littlest heart in the heart frame die set that came out. And again, it's that Bow Bunny rose gold glitter paste that I used to frost the cookies with. Okay, so there's that one. I have one more that's cookie related here. And this is the one that uses the beautiful paper pad cutouts. Okay, so this is the largest die set from the paper, or the largest pieces of cutouts from the paper pad. And there is a coordinating stamp set, but we don't have the stamp set yet as designers. It came out a little bit late due to manufacturing issues, but it is in the shop and you can purchase it if you want it. And I did add the words "Be Mine" and "XOXO" from the stamp sets, from some of the Valentine stamp sets, to add some detail to the cookies. And I also colored in the little gingers and added some detail to their little buttons and stuff so that they would stand out. And I added a spatula here, and I put some of this Nouveau Grande white drops on here just to make it look shiny, like it has frosting on it. I don't know if it's coming across on camera. And then in the background of this card, I again used my my little embossing, or stencil rather, from Echo Park. I need to clean this, but whoops, that's a scrap. That shouldn't be there. It's this 6x6 stencil, and it is called Tiny Hearts Stencil. That's the information right there, and this is what the stencil looks like. Okay, so that is what I used to create the background on this beautiful pink paper, which is from the paper pad. And then you can see how I did the embossing on the layer that's underneath for the liner on the cookie sheet. And again, you glue down, and then you put, where you put the glue, you just put a little bit of diamond stickles or whatever stickles color you want over it. And then this is the uneven scallop layer die underneath there, and then I just tied a little bow up at the top of the cookie sheet, and that turned out so cute. Here's what the inside looks like with those beautiful XOXO border dies and that little love heart. And then on the back, I used, this is from her heart bookmark die set, and I used just the little heart, and then I stamped "Sending Love" and a little XO, and that's from last year's Valentine stamp set. And I love this little heart script paper that's in the paper pad. So I love how the back of this card turned out. I just think it's so, so sweet. Just a fun stamp and die set release from my creative time. I have 2 more projects to share with you. I'm already at 30 minutes. I'm going to try and hurry. These are the bowl dies, and I've stacked a large bowl die, 2 medium bowl dies, a small bowl die, and then a Happy Valentine's Day tag. You can see that beautiful brown script paper in the back. I have a beautiful piece of red lace from my little basket that Elise gave me. And I did use some of that embossed heart paper again on top of the script background, which was cut with one of her stitching dies, okay? And I love how this creates such a nice 3-layer background, if you will. So it's cut in 3. And I did the "You Bake Me Happy" on the spatula from the Jingle All the Way stamp and die set. I added a bow from her little bow set that looks like this, and I used this bow right here. And I love her little bow set. It's the Mini Bow Dies MCTD 310. And then this, of course, is our little ginger person. I stamped a face from my Peachy Keen PK 3000 set, and I added a little crystal to the center of her bow. And these I ordered on eBay years ago, and I just have a jar of them, and I use them occasionally just to add a center to a bow or a flower. So that's what this card looks like. This is a mix of papers from various paper pads from Emma's collections of papers, along with some book print paper and a little piece of some gingham paper that I had in my scrap bin. And then inside I did the "You Are Special to Me" little heart from the paper pad and a little piece of the scrap paper left over from this cut here. And then on the back, I did use that heart stencil again, and I put a little tiny spatula with my initials and the year and just another strip of the paper. So that's that one, and I love how the book print looks on the different bowls. I just think that turned out so cute. So that is that card. And this is my last card. I did do a little video on this. It's not filmed the greatest. I'm experimenting with shorts on YouTube and on Instagram, so bear with me. I'm still learning, so they're not great yet, but I will get better. But I did do a short video that it'll post in a couple days, and you'll see it. if you're interested, but it shows kind of my putting this card together. You can see that there is some embossing on the background of those little hearts again. It's debossed here and embossed here where the raised part is up on the center panel here. And then these bowls are made with cardstock, Arala Mija shop papers, and paper from Emma's Paper Pad. And I just stack them all up. This is all one size of bowl stacked up in a row. You could do this with any one of the bowls. And then I put different implements in from all of Emma's various die sets, okay? And I just love how this turned out. And then the sweet word, I can't remember what set this is from right now, but this is also a die from Emma. And so I just added that. It says, "You make life sweet." It's from the donut set. So her donut stamp and die set has this word sweet in it. And so I cut off the word sweet from the stamp and just put "You make life" and then use the word sweet here. So that's how I got this card. This paper is from Arala Mija shop also, and that is the paper that I used kind of throughout the card with the bowls also. When you open it up, you can see that I used a linen textured paper for this particular mat. It's got some beautiful linen texture to it, if you can see that. I added a little tiny flag here, and then a Happy Valentine's Day. And then this cream colored heart paper, I just love this. I would like a whole pad of this cream color. It is such a great paper to use in the backgrounds of things. And I used all of that up. I have none of it left. So it's just such a beautiful light toned color, and you can, you know, put it on the backgrounds of so many things. And then on the back, I just cut another little one of those fancy frame layers, and I stamped "Love You," and this is from her Valentine's stamp set from last year. So that is the last card, you guys. These are all of my projects for the My Creative Time 129th edition release. I want to thank you guys for putting up with this very long video. It's 35 minutes long, but I know that a lot of you like to see, you know, and have a little more detail on the projects. So thank you for watching. I'm just going to flip through and show you some of the dies that I used. There's the one that cut all the implements, the XOXO border dies. These are the A2 fancy frame layer dies, both stitched and regular. I used the rectangle frame dies with the stitching. I used her pretty scallop rectangle dies. I used these oval dies and the oval scallop dies. So I used a lot of her products to create all these cards. I hope you enjoyed watching. Blessings and hugs, everybody, and I will be back with more videos very soon, I hope. Hopefully before next Saturday. I look forward to seeing everybody's projects. Emma, thank you for all you do for this creative community by running My Creative Time. I know how much effort it takes to run a business, having helped my family run a business for 20 years. So I so appreciate all you and your staff do to make My Creative Time bring such beautiful products to us to create with. God bless you all. I will be back with you again soon. Bye now.